accounts and people ask questions, and as a result of that we kind of strengthen our accounts, or you know, provide suggestions to each other as to where that evidence can come from.
It's really interesting though, because I did my MA with Bath Spa University, and one of the lecturers, who he was the second marker, and I'm doing a bit of work with him now, but he said to me just not so long ago about my master's being absolutely sort of full of evidence and data, you know, and I thought, oh my goodness me, I hadn't sort of looked at it like that really, because at the time I was thinking, well, how am I going to gather data, what am I going to do, and so on, and I just grabbed everything I could, sort of things like, we'd have conversation cafe, and if anybody sort of said anything, very often we'd video, so I would have a, say, a video clip, or I would take sort of some notes of what people said. I kept a journal, so I could take some notes from that. Any emails I got from schools, you know, saying something about the sort of inclusion quality mark and the support they had, or the difference it made to them, you know, I'd sort of keep that as well. So I had sort of in the end, you know, I did have a variety of data and a variety of evidence as well, which, you know, at the time as I was going along, this was my constant concern, you know, what data have I got, what data have I got? But there it was, I've now thinking in terms of measuring and perhaps scores and things like that, and you don't sort of need that, you know, you don't need that. So I was really pleased with that response from Tony Caston when he sort of said that, you know, because...
That's interesting, that the nature of the data that you're talking about here, because that's kind of like almost like incidental. It's not, you know, it's just thinking to use what you have available, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it, you see, that's what I did at the time. I just kept emails, I kept, you know, a little journal, or I'd make notes or whatever, video clips, and all, you know, and as I was going through and pulling this MA together, I thought, oh, I'll get that email there, or oh, I'll have a look at my journal. Ah, great.
It's really rich data as well, isn't it? Because it's so different, and it's all it's spontaneous as well.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely, and very relevant, you know. So.
Go on.
I just want to be careful, I don't want to dampen down the discussion, but I'm just conscious we want to go around and involve everybody's input in it as well. Is that alright? Do you just want to say very briefly?
I'll say very briefly, because Nigel's given a very good overview really of, you know, what we do and whatever. But I am putting in my research proposal, and I did have some trouble sort of thinking of a title, you know, I had a few titles. I've got a working title, and it says, how do I promote inclusion through living my values and developing living standards of judgment to which I hold myself accountable. So there's quite a few sort of aspects there for me. I'm thinking 4 different aspects. So how do I promote inclusion? Through living my values, okay, and developing living standards of judgment to which I hold myself accountable. So there's those different aspects, and really this is an extension of my MA, okay? In my MA I actually focused on the inclusion quality mark, the development of that and my role in that and my values and so on. This is just ongoing from what I've done there. You know, there's lots of aspects of my job which I do. And I just have to look at it because I keep forgetting, you know. So it's about the inclusion quality mark. I'm also involved with exclusions as well, whereby schools ring me regarding procedures when they want to exclude and so on. And I have to attend the governing disciplinary body meetings whereby I can sort of advise governors and sort of advise them sort of questions they should be asking of the school when there's been a permanent exclusion. So I've got that sort of, I'm there for those. I do SEN casework. I monitor racist, homophobic and disabled incidents, and I also do a lot of work regarding training of SENCOs as well. I'm very, very much involved with the National Award for SEN Coordination. So as you can see, I've got lots of aspects of my work, but the core of it is, for me, is what my values are, what drives me to do in the work that I do, and as a result of that, what influence am I having on these schools and on children and young people, because that is what I'm here for. What influence am I having as a result of my values through the work that I do on children and young people? So basically, that's it in a nutshell of what I am, you know, proposing to do in my PhD, in a nutshell.
It's a shame Bath's so far away, isn't it? So we're tying in so well with what we're doing in Liverpool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's such a shame that Nigel's not my manager.
You can't have it, he's mine.
I mean, this whole team and this whole approach.